qui va participer dans la performance. Malgré pour une présentation. Malgré tout ça, nous dit, tout ça, nous a dit sur nous, nous connaissons que nous sommes tous fiers de l'héritage. L'héritage haïtien, nous fiers que nous sortions dans une lignée, monde qui a une énergie spirituelle, force courage physique, caractère, qui visionnaire, qui crée un monde, une réalité qui va exister avant nous. Il n'est pas sans désagréer aller dans Haïti, mais nous pas perdu espoir. Parce que la libérée Haïti va belle. Merci. Merci de faire ça. Tant que vous m'en rien, on va le pour dire quelques poèmes que j'écris. Haïti, c'est un poème qui est servi avec proverbe traditionnel pour décrire un bel pays côté une dividale réalité qui a fait collision. Un pays qui était en bas devant derrière, tout le monde sait d'eau, un pays dans lequel on a un couteau pendant lequel Haïti. Haïti, pays piquant, pays misère, pays belle femme, belle malin, pays femme, pays courage, pays coupé de tête pour les cailles, pays tout le monde sait d'eau, sensible pas jouer, pays pas oublier. Des marques songées. Voyez, roche, caché le nez. Pays je viens. Pays Jean cherché, Jean trouvé. Pays Louis, Jean Roger. Pays Batchapel, pays Mondanini. Pays Plume des Pans, pays Carapates. Pays en Pépin, pays Louis Sabat. Pays Rachement, yon paille à blanche. Pays Trou dans Manche. Pays tout jouet, c'est jouet, pochette pas la donne. Pays plein fourmis sous bocan. Pays des monde, pays quatre écoles. Pays qui fait sens. Pays belle merveille. Pays roche dans l'eau, roche dans le soleil. Pays tout rond sans fond. Pays affaires cabrit, pas affaires mouton. Pays la vierge. Pays séqueil. Pays deuil, après les deuils. Pays misère, pays mystère, pays bon très bon, pays miracle, confusion. Pays 1, 2, 3, nous irons au 3, 4, 5, 6, qu'il y a des cerises. Oui, mais pays reste avec, pays qui satanise. Pays maman père bas, pays qu'est-ce que fait ouvrir ça? Pays Rizez, ma charlette. Pays d'adouillon belle couleur. Pays long, pays agribaille, pays petit blancaille, pays madichon, pays des veines, pays n'a pas la bouillette pas de pays beau non tout est chien, pays mendiant, pays pour dans main, pays douce pour miel. Pays en mer pour fiel. Pays 3 fois passé là, c'est la dernière qui restera. Pays a fifi en Nikaba. Pays la ville merci à terre. Pays ouais pas ouais, enterrement pour 4. Premier coyer pour pas coup. Pays c'est dernier coup, tout est coucou. Pays Haïti Thomas, Haïti Avadra. Pays boulet gras, pays mon pas. Pays d'Haïti t'est glissé. Pays d'Haïti tombé levé. Pays d'Haïti doit être moins lié, pas qu'à couper. Pays d'Haïti pour nous lier. Nous celles qui a sauvé. Partisans, votre responsabilité. Laissez fort tout, c'est où? Pas mettre des mains en l'air, pas aller en mouiller, pas manger couille au bas blanc, pas demander les autres régler causer. Mettez un pied devant l'autre pour réparer les rêves. Mettez femmes sur femmes, mettez garçons dans la canson. C'est pas de bêtiser, baptisant. Avenir petit ou dans main. Avenir famille ou dans main. Avenir pays ou dans main. Baptisant, levez camper pour sauver Haïti. In the midst of a profound existential crisis, Haiti is gripped by vicious gangs allied with corrupt politicians. Together they dominate daily life through their warfare, sieges, and extortions. Homeland. Here we were born. Here, in this homeland turned prison, locked in, locked out, living in constant terror under the imposition of silence. If ever we owned anything, it was ransacked or scattered to the four winds. President, ministers, and thugs in an unholy alliance, hands deep in blood, pockets lined with oil, have robbed us of flesh and possessions. We've lost our dreams and ambitions. Oh, Martissan, oh, Bel Air, oh, my neighborhoods. Who pays the bandits' tolls? Who carries our grief and our women's dread? Who relocates our exiled? Who counts our dead? In this disenchanted city, surrounded by refuse and wreckage, broken shadows and random faces go blindly by on hands up, don't shoot motorcycle rides. But traces of blood forever stain these panic-stricken streets. Chain-linked fences, barbed wire, keep us in, keep us out. Noisy crowds, scorching asphalt, and the smell of burning tires. Flashes of lights from assault rifles, flights of bullets exploding metal. We fled. We fled. And could not carry those who fell. Their corpses were left as a feast for dogs. This is not somewhere else, but here, in the midst of all this darkness, that we're seeking a glimmer of hope. Résistance, à luta continua. Nous n'irons plus à l'abattoir est le titre de ce poème. Ils nous ont bâillonnés pour nous empêcher de protester. Ils nous ont enfermés, affamés, épuisés. Ils nous ont écorchés jusqu'au sang. Ils pensaient que nous allions rester tranquilles. Ils voulaient nous faire perdre l'espoir. Mais nous n'irons plus à l'abattoir. L'inquiétude est quotidienne. L'épouvante est notre voisine. La misère qui nous confine est une rigoise, un martinet. Dans la pénombre, nous vivons à 10 dans une chambre. Quant au repas, n'en parlons pas. Nos enfants ne vont pas à l'école. Nous nous habillons de pépé et nous allons par-ci, par-là chercher la vie dans tous les coins. Et parce qu'ils sont sans besoin, ils nous appellent irresponsables. Les fonds de l'État sont leurs biens. Ils passent dans leurs voitures blindées, cachés derrière leurs vitres teintées. Leurs chiens n'ont pas de muselière. Tous leurs murs ont des barbelés. Ils nous ont humiliés, exténués, opprimés. Ils nous ont achetés à bon marché, vendus cher. Ils pensaient que nous allions nous taire. Ils voulaient nous faire oublier notre histoire. Mais nous n'irons plus à l'abattoir. Ils nous ont bâillonnés pour nous empêcher de protester, mais nous gardons les yeux ouverts, mon frère. Un jour, nous arracherons nos bâillons. Nous briserons ces murs qui nous séparent. Un jour, par la force des mots, nous saurons transformer le monde pour que nous puissions vivre ensemble. Car nous n'irons plus jamais à l'abattoir. We live in the heart of a savage world. It is violent and indifferent to human suffering. Relentlessly, it tries to strip us of our humanity and our compassion. Relentlessly, we must resist and retain our tenderness. We do so with our inner light and our personal voice. Even during the most desperate times, poets dared to fight with their words, because poetry is that hand that keeps the stars from falling. Not just the stars, but also hope. So on days when all seems dark, when the world pours in, and the pain blows words out of my mouth, I look at open windows and running trains with a craving hard to explain. But I rush by quickly, eyes shut tight, and I count my breath. And when I catch a glimpse of myself, a talking shadow in full light, I must seem not knowing my left from my right, always lost. But as I stand here in my age of reckoning, a woman at the end of her history, I tell you, I have found myself. I have found happiness where I did not seek it. And grief has come frequently when I did not expect it, and come to stay, like an unwelcome guest you cannot turn away. And it has marked me and broken me, but in doing so, it's made me part of humanity. And I give thanks for the voice I have been given, for the little song I can sing, for the light I can add to everyone else's, for I have tasted it all, the bitter, the sweet, and what was forbidden me. But I am alive. I am alive, and I've learned to live in this world, which is beautifully hopeless, but hopelessly beautiful. And if I've remembered at all, it will be because whatever else is true or false, and because I have craved its light, I have unflinchingly faced love and embraced it. Merci, merci à vous.
Thank you, Michelle, for that. Merci un peu. Okay, your words resonated with me. Pays Sibomiel, pays Kopete Buikai, pays d'Haïti, c'est nous qui qu'a sauvé. Remember that, c'est nous qui qu'a sauvé. We have next Marlene, Professor Marlene Dole. She is an author, a scholar, an editor, and a professor at Yale College or Yale University. Her books include The Awakening of Ashes and her new book, The Rise and Fall of Henri Christophe, being released this year. We welcome her. Thank you.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm going to read a little bit from my book, Awakening the Ashes, which is an intellectual history of the Haitian Revolution. In 1814, in the city of Cap Henri, King Henri Christophe's most prolific secretary, Baron de Vathé, published a striking testimonial against slavery, Le Système Colonial Dévoilé, or the colonial system unveiled. Vathe's goal in publishing this book was to unveil the heinous crimes of the French colonists. His stated methodology was consulting the dead to share their stories from the grave. Vathe declared that bringing to light these damning testimonies against enslavers required him to awaken the ashes of the numerous victims whom the colonists precipitated into the tomb and to borrow their voices. By awakening these ashes, Vathe offered to tell the history of colonial slavery and its many brutalities from a Haitian perspective, using a strategy that today's historians might recognize as history from below. Decades before French historians tried to popularize this method, one of Haiti's first professional historians established the tradition of talking to and or for the dead to correct previous historical errors. In Vathe's writing, awakening the ashes is not just a metaphor. Some of the testimony came from below the ground. Death was not an obstacle to accessing the experience of the deceased, hence the ashes that Vate summoned and the graves he unearthed. Vate also had living witnesses. He not only interviewed the still alive victims of slavery, but he said he asked their mutilated limbs and scars to tell him about the tortures they experienced. His goal was to produce a history of the enslaved population of colonial Saint-Domingue from their own perspective, a novel method at that time. In a later publication, evoking once more the innumerable crimes of the ex-colonist, Vate insisted that he was publicizing the horrors of slavery for political ends, not for personal aggrandizement. Shall I again exhume the corpses of my unfortunate compatriots, whom they buried alive, to interrogate their souls and terrify humankind with the horrible account of the crimes of these monsters, he asked? Vate imagined disturbing the peace of the dead solely to preserve the freedom of the living. He insisted that French crimes against the Black people they enslaved on Saint-Domingue formed a key part of Haiti's moral, legal, and spiritual claims to liberty and independence. If injustice, bad faith, cruelties of all kinds give rights to those who have experienced them over those who have perpetrated them, what people have ever had more right to independence than the Haitian people, he asked. In 1816, we see that Vate expressed the principles of restitution, reparation, and compensation that form the backbone of modern claims for restorative justice after mass atrocities. To pursue the claim that Haitian independence was the humane and rightful legal outcome of overthrowing the slave regime, the French first needed to be found guilty, even if the only jurist in the court was public opinion. Public opinion, that queen who rules over the civilized world, who calls kings and peoples to her tribunal, who dictates to them her impartial and irrevocable decrees, who extends her invisible empire over the whole universe, who submits to her judgment both the oppressed and the oppressor, who breathes into the trumpet of fame to publish good or bad deeds, who raises up or brings down, who dispenses glory or stigma. It is to the power of opinion that we appeal on earth as in heaven, when we will be heard and judged by the Almighty, Vate wrote. For Vate, condemnation by a public could precede the final day of judgment by a God, and the international community could hand down punishments every bit as severe as any court of law. A human rights trial of this nature required evidence and testimony from survivors as equally as from the relatives and descendants of those treacherously killed by the French colonists and the French army. Averring that with this line of inquiry, he was pursuing the defense of humanity as a whole, Vate concluded with this insistence: whites, yellows, and blacks, we are all brothers, all children of the eternal Father, all interested in this cause. Oh man, whatever the color of your skin, whatever your nation, and whatever religion you profess, you are interested in the triumph of the Haitians. The final section that I'm going to read, just to give you a sense of the kinds of authors in the book, comes from the moment when the Haitian historians are discussing Napoleon's attempt to reinstate slavery on the island of Saint-Domingue and his successful reinstatement of slavery on the island of Guadeloupe 8 years after it had been abolished. The return to slavery decreed by this law only encouraged more rebellion in Saint-Domingue. General Leclerc acknowledged in a letter he wrote to the French Minister of the Marine, "All the blacks are persuaded that we have come here to re-enslave them, and I will not be able to get them to lay down their arms without a long struggle." The Haitian revolutionaries also testified about the effect the July 1802 law had on the ongoing revolution. In his April 1804 speech, Dessalines reminded the new Haitians of the relationship between what happened in Guadeloupe and Haiti's ensuing fight for freedom and independence. While Leclerc and Bonaparte repeatedly promised not to bring back slavery, assuring that all people in Saint-Domingue, regardless of skin color, would remain free, Leclerc turned around and directly reinstated slavery on Nathan in Guadeloupe. They sent a large army that ransacked and destroyed, Dessalines said, and Guadeloupe's ruins are still fuming with the blood of children, of women, of old men run through with the sword, Dessalines lamented. Opposition to the idea of slavery's return to the colony unfolded differently in Saint-Domingue. General Leclerc said that to preserve Saint-Domingue and bring back slavery, the French army needed to kill all the people of color in the colony over the age of 12 and who had ever, quote, worn an epaulette. The French military gassed, drowned, and sent dogs trained to eat the revolutionaries, while the French colonists openly bragged that after the extermination, their word, the island could simply be repopulated with Africans from the continent. Such monstrous resolve only encouraged the Black soldiers to swear they would fight for independence or death. After defeating Bonaparte's army and declaring their independence on January 1st, 1804, Haiti, rather than France, became the first modern state to permanently abolish slavery. No, because of his shameful legislation and white supremacist dreams, Napoleon could never be a hero to celebrate in Haiti. Whether or not he has the qualities of a great man hardly matters to me. He has done great things, so be it. He extended and receded the limits of his empire. Still, what interest can I take in his greatness, in his glory even, asked Julien Prévost, the Comte de Limonade and secretary to King Henri Christophe. None, Prévost continued. I see and want to see in Napoleon only the enemy of my country, who through his agents covered it with ruins, blood, dead bodies, and wreckage. The history of the Leclerc expedition is damning for Napoleon, but it also implicates large sectors of French society. The 19th century Haitian writer and politician, Jules Chanlade, who helped craft Haiti's first constitution, called the unheard of executions perpetrated by the French des crimes de lèse-humanité, or crimes against humanity. But Chanlade reserved his deepest and most profound indignation for the French soldiers who carried out the orders of their leaders, which involved the effective creation of the prototype for the gas chamber. It is difficult to understand, he wrote, how the more than 60,000 men involved in this expedition could have degraded themselves to the point of simply becoming blind executioners. The people of Saint-Domingue have little choice but to begin to fight for unqualified freedom. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dole. What resonated with me was that you have put forth a thought-provoking historical analysis of liberté and how we can awaken those ashes of resistance. Thank you. So we have, last but not least, of our presenters, Mr. Jean-Claude Martineau, and he is a legend. Thank you, Mr. Martineau. I know that you did not want me to talk much about you. You said, do not say that you're a poet of the underdog, or that throughout your long career as a writer, songwriter, composer, art activist, and statesperson, you have led the way, but I'm gonna say it anyways. And you only wanted me to say that you are a patriot, point final. So please welcome Mr. Martineau.
Honneur. Bon, ouais, nous haïtiens toujours. Bon. Est-ce que nous comptons d'après nous-mêmes qui ça fait Haïti dans l'état ça? C'est parce que l'oublié racine. c'est parce que l'oublié qu'on peut sortir, l'oublié qu'on peut sortir, donc il n'est pas qu'à tourner, qu'on peut le prendre. Mais ça qui arrive nous. Nous, en adoration, alors nous pas, l'homme dit nous, on ne fait pas nous, tous nous. On parle seulement de classe qui a dirigé Haïti en adoration devant l'Occident. Ils oubliaient, c'est eux-mêmes qui te fait la traite de l'air. Ils oubliaient que c'est eux-mêmes qui te fait l'esclavage. Gon bagay que nous pouvons comprendre, il faut que nous comprenions bien. Ils n'ont pas voulu nous pour couler pour nous. Il y a des pays, nous avons des comptes avec eux. En Argentine, il y a des voix à côté d'eux. Ils ont éliminé. Au Mexique, il y a des voix à côté d'eux. Ils ont éliminé. Nous n'avons pas rien avec eux. Nous avons des comptes avec eux, rien. Mais ils n'ont pas voulu nous à cause de propagande qui fait contre nous. Et puis nous-mêmes, avec nous qui dirigeons, toujours en adoration devant blanc. Mais qui ça fait qu'on a été nous d'origine africaine, nous c'est d'elle, et des salines qui font ça très bien, parce que la Constitution a dit, des pour haïtiens c'est noir. Quelle que soit la couleur, des pour haïtiens c'est noir. Et pour qui ça l'a fait? Mais nous ne pouvons pas comprendre. Nous parlons de culture haïtienne qui dérivait de culture africaine. Combien nous pouvons parler de lui en entrer là-dedans? Il y a un aspect culturel, c'est tirer compte. Et on en tire compte. Il y a deux parties dans le compte. Première partie, c'est devinette. Deuxième partie, c'est compte chanté. Même si on n'a pas chanté là-dedans, oui, mais comme son histoire là-bas racontée, ils sont compte chantés. Les raconter l'histoire, son histoire qui est merveille là-dedans. De pieds bois qui parler, de chiens qui et parler, de bœuf qui volé, tout le pareil, ça qui entrait dans le compte là. Donc, on nous commence à dire, tous aux enfants. À partir de la vie, le petit monde, c'est le plaisir qu'on peut toujours chanter. Papa m'a dit, mon caille qui battait son seul couteau. C'est John. Maman, mon petit choix. La courir, parce que le coup de fouet, tu vas la courir. Vous êtes à courir. Vous êtes à courir. C'est de l'eau. Elle doit bouillir ou la lèvre pas. Quand il y a un bal dans le dernier, sinon pas à mi-temps, il va faut que tu comprennes. Oui. Tu fais à faire tout enceinte. Je vais mourir, c'est jour à coucher. Nous connaissons Zaboka. Cri. Papa m'a gagné un petit corps. Il coupait tête, il voyait tête embarrassée, le placement de cocorico. Ça me fait tomber dans le carré. C'est Zanana. On va expliquer pour quelle raison. C'est pour nous être dans l'observation que nous gagnons en fait. Si on prend Zanana, on voit comment Zanana a fait, les bonnes de feuilles en Bali, quand on pique. Mais les mêmes feuilles en l'aile, mais au tout petit. Ils coupaient ça, vous voyez l'embarrager, ils poussaient, ils grandir, pour Zanana pousser là-dedans. C'est peut-être ça le jour où vous voyez tête-là embarrassée, et puis vous chantez pour le coup. Bon, ça, c'est la première partie dans le compte. Deuxième partie, là, c'est pour chanter. Les arrivants du cri, non, du petit. Voilà. À côté, marcher pour fond gras, et vous petit caille paille. Mon qui habite le petit caille ça, c'est des outils qui vont venir éloigner.
Yo, yo, yo. You mind telling me about your table again? Gotcha. You mind telling me about your table one more time?
What's good? What's good?
What's going on, everybody? How we feeling?
So we're CID. What we do is we help. We're the Center for Immigrant Development, and all we do is help immigrants when they're coming to the U.S. Yeah, when they're coming to the U.S. to get set up and situated with paperwork, work permits, things of that sort. We do ESL and also citizenship classes. Yeah, we do have a website, some pamphlets here, nothing too crazy. Keep it light, This isn't really what's really important. The important stuff is what we do and what we offer. Yeah, this is our logo, our pamphlet. We have some business cards here. A little pull up. Where we at? Where we at? All right, there you go. If you need anything,
Find you.
1111 Main Street in Bridgeport. Come through if you guys have any questions regarding anything with work permits, TPS, anything of that sort, USCIS, anything of that sort. Please come out and we'll be able to assist you.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your time. Appreciate everything you do, you know what I'm saying?
You too, man.
Doing great work out here, guys. Like I said, 1111 Bridgeport. Yeah, I see if you need the help, need the assistance, pull up and they out here to help you guys out. CID?
CID, yep.
CID, you know what I'm saying? Pull up on them.
Yeah.
Max for
Max. Name's Max.
There we go.
I go by X. X.
Let him know. He'll be right here. Real cool dude trying to help you guys out.
Yep.
Holla.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
I'm about to step out. Everything died already.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. I had to get you one more time, you know what I'm saying?
I'll holla at you, man.
No problem. Got my card, subscribe and like, you know what I'm saying? Let's do it. One more time at the beautiful everything. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you had a great time. Let's do some more. Let's rock out. It was wonderful. Had a great time with you guys today. Like and subscribe for more. Oh, yeah. I'll see you later, man. Bye.